Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. So, for this month, any CIG subscriber gets their hands on all 4 Freelancers. We have just had the Freelancer Max, MISC, and the revamped models released on 3.4. So today I'm going to go through and have a look at each of them. It's going to be the Freelancer DUR first, which is your exploration variant. I think it stands for duration, just allowing for a greater distance in jumps and a longer time out in space because of these 2 fuel tanks along the side here, as you can see. Number 1 and 2, they're extended fuel tanks. Now, I do like the Freelancers. I used to own the DUR, and obviously we were given the base variant to play with while we were waiting on this one to be revamped. And I can't remember what I upgraded to, but I kind of semi-regret that now. But the Freelancer DUR also has an enhanced jump drive, more advanced scanner, and expanded fuel tanks, as I've said. And the scanner, I believe, are these 2, I think we call them boobies in the Star Citizen world. But those in the front, they're supposed to be the scanners, or the extra scanners. We are on Ariel at the moment, the moon Ariel. It's my favourite. Bit bright, bit orangey yellow, but it kind of suits the Freelancer. So this is 38 metres in length, 23.5 metres wide, 9.5 tall. It has a cargo capacity of 28 standard cargo units at this moment. It sacrifices a bit of the cargo room for these extra fuel tanks, which I'll show you inside, actually. Let me take you in. So it's a minimum crew of 2. Oh dear. Maximum crew of 4, so it's great for running with a friend. It's a bit dark. But this is the cargo hold. You have still got your turret, which I believe now has 2 Dominance size 2 weapons on. You also have all these back here. They've started adding the slots where the components are going to go, because components, as you probably know, will be physicalized. You'll be able to pick them up, carry them around, place them in places. So you've got life support avionics, shields, coolers, double coolers. And these are all, I think, medium components on the Freelancer. You've got your radar there, your power plant, shield generator, another avionics and another radar there. And they're all so bright outside, it's crazy. And as I say, they're all medium, but you'll be able to store extra ones maybe around here if you need them. But the cargo hold is actually quite substantial in, considering that you have a place to put cargo. It's definitely a step up from single-seater ships. It's got a decent loadout as well. I think at the moment, let me just take a look, it's got 4 size 3 attrition laser repeaters, which was, again, a new weapon for 3.4, made by Hurston Dynamics. Whether that's the solid that's staying now and that's how it is, I don't know. You can swap them out yourself, but if that's standard, it looks like it could be. The other Freelancer variants have different weapons on themselves, so I wonder if they're sticking to these from now on. But they are pretty decent weapons. It also has missile-wise 2 Dominator size 2 missiles and 2 Arrestor. So maybe actually there's 4. It looks like there's 2 on either side. The Arrestors are size 3, and I think both of those types are energy as well. I'm not too sure about that, but don't take my word on it. Now, this is a medium-sized exploration vessel for those looking to partake in discovering new things, finding an untouched asteroid field, a new star system, just something not seen before. Now, from the cargo hold, you'll go into the docking area. Now, this used to be a cargo, I think, but now they've swapped it out for the extra fuel tanks. So these are extra fuel tanks to help with the... hang on, let me just get rid of that. Dismiss. To help with travelling. You'll notice in the MISC, the Freelancer MISC, it has its missile pods. And I think in the Freelancer Max, it's just more cargo space. The Freelancer base model has nothing there. I think it's something else. But then you've got extra cargo here. This is probably where I would store extra personal components and subcomponents when we get that sort of gameplay in. Nice little convenient space, as well as it's got a docking collar. So you, when we get docking, we'll eventually be able to come in and out that way if you can't go out the back door if you've attached to a ship. Now, something they've added to the living quarters. Looks like a food and drinks machine, which makes sense for a ship that you're going to be out in long duration for. This side, you have the much-needed bathroom. I assume there'll be a toilet that comes out here. And a shower unit there as well as just a sink. Just your amenities for when we get the new player status deals. Everything else is relatively the same. You've got your 4 beds, bunk style, that also double up as escape pods if you didn't realise. And the 4-man crew cockpit, which is... I do like the cockpit in this ship. It's very sort of close proximity to your friends, so you can talk using VoIP. You'll all hear each other. And it just feels nice and comfortable. They've done a nice job with this for MISC. Let's just go outside and have a wander around. Now, obviously this is for traveling long distances. It will likely mean that you're away from civilization for great periods of time, scanning and then hoping for potentially finding anomalies, which then may lead to great riches. If you haven't heard of the Galactopedia, it is a vast encyclopedia of everything within Star Citizen PU, the universe. It is currently being built out by the CIG lore team. This will contain all the people, the locations, civilizations, anything that has pretty much happened in the verse already that we know about. It'll also contain just the current information, but players will be able to submit their own findings to be placed in the Galactopedia. So if you do discover a new system and you choose to share that, you can get that in the Galactopedia saying that you were the person to find it. Also, maybe you might take out Dread Pirate Roberts, and then you'll be forever known as the one who took him down. Basically, getting into the Star Citizen history books. Exploration is probably one of the greatest ways of doing that. Going off into the unknown and finding something, getting your name put out there. But also, you can decide whether you want to relieve the information that you find. So if you do find a solar system that nobody's ever heard of, you could keep it to yourself and just spend time there yourself. Let's say, for example, you find an asteroid field. You could use it to mine your own, using your own prospector or Orion. You could then tell your org mates where that is so your org can profit from it, or you can just choose to sell the information to the UEE or anyone really. If you know someone who is looking for that, you can put a price up there and say, if you want to buy this from me, these coordinates, you can have it and you can make money from it. It is entirely up to you, but do remember that if you do not share it and then someone else comes along and finds it and they share it with the Galactopedia and the UEE, then they could claim the finder's rights and be forever known as the finders, whereas, you were found it but didn't say anything. But yeah, as I say, exploration is one of the greatest ways to make the unknown known and to put your name to it. If that sounds like fun to you, I do suggest getting the Freelancer DUR. It is a very handy ship. Good size, decent loadout. It's not too over the top, needing lots of crew, and it's not a lonely single-seat explorer. Personally, I do love the Freelancers, especially the new revamped versions. I just hope that there's plenty of things out there for us to find. Not too easy. I don't want it to be a case of you constantly, as soon as you start scanning, you find something. I want there to be a lot of skill involved in locating them and spending time searching and potentially just hitting mostly dead ends, because then it will really feel like you've discovered something and it's been worth it when you finally find that thing you've been looking for. Top of my list in terms of exploration is finding the missing ship, the Artemis, which I won't go into, but it's all up there in the lore if you want to go and read it for yourself. But anyway, that is the Freelancer DUR. I will go through all the other variants of the Freelancers, excluding the base one. We've already done a review of that one. And just talk a little bit about what each ship offers. I am planning on bringing a new series to YouTube, which is just sort of discussing kind of like a buyer's guide, but really going into a bit more depth as to what each ship is capable of and whether it's something you might look into owning in the verse one day, not just buying it for real cash, but working your way up to owning one in the verse. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Big shout out to my Patreons who make this all possible. If you do want to consider sponsoring the video or becoming a patron, follow the link below to my Patreon page to learn more. Join me over on twitch.tv/supermacbrothers. Ryan, I shall see you next time, guys.